One of the things I always told people was, if you're going to look at nutrition, then don't necessarily try and do everything you have to do for nutrition. If you're like skipping breakfast or you're eating tons of refined sugars, like those are pretty big things to be able to amend and modify. And if you do that, then you're probably going to see about 60% of the results you'd see if you were perfect. So that other 40% comes from changing everything and doing this unmanageable, like it can't be consistent sort of approach towards wellness. So instead, start with the biggest things first, and after you've done that, then look at it. So don't pick out handles in your kitchen when you haven't poured a foundation. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing people miss. And so there's things like eating breakfast and just getting physical activity, like you said, and get out walking and checking in on your mental health throughout the day, and drinking water first thing in the morning as opposed to just caffeinated things. These are all very simple things, but if you added those things together, that's a huge shift for most people's lifestyle and would result in a much better health outcomes for them.
Yeah, and it's such a great reminder of the hydration piece, because that's really easy, almost passive in a way. But I remember 2 shows ago, you quoted a great stat that you get a like 10 to 15% bump in clarity, mental thinking, and energy from drinking a glass of water. And I always get this image in my mind like a video game character whenever I'm drinking water. Ding! Like a power up. Like why not do it? What are most of your guests? So you host a very popular phone-in show about health and wellness. What are most people in this province asking? What are they talking about?
Well, it's interesting because I think that wellness has shifted what's relevant for topics. It used to just be like diet and exercise and all those basic things, but a lot of it's mental health now. A huge proportion of it. When you came on my show, we talked about meditation and the values of that, and we ran people through a meditation. People that may have never thought about it or been exposed to it before in their life, but that was great. And so I do a lot of that. We do a lot of different things that you might not have known. We did recently a Halloween special, and we talked about what happens in your body when you get scared, which is like people don't think of, like, what's the physiology? So we'll talk about interesting things about that. We'll talk about things like specific conditions. Like there's a lot of people that are affected by specific conditions they may not understand. Like, do they understand how cancer manifests in the body, or cardiovascular disease, or what is diabetes and what's going on in the body? And so when it comes to health, there's literally unlimited topics. So I've never run out of it. I've got an individual coming on soon to talk about being close to water and what that does for us, and we're surrounded by it. So like that's great for our mental health, and we should know that. And maybe we can go out, and if we're 10 feet away from the ocean, go for a little walk and stare at the ocean for a bit and realize that it's going to be good for us.